never had that discussion.
What was the backstory of him not being at the NPA? Yeah.
My oldest son is 18. That's what I'm responsible for, about whereabouts. I'm not responsible for Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. I'm not his father.
Be frank with me about what gap that has left in the EFF. What is the impact of the departure of people who are literally co-founders with you in a movement like the EFF?
They have no impact
whatsoever. Nothing.
Okay. The relationship breakup between Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi and the EFF of Julius Malemma, it actually hides a very big secret. If you want to know more about this, watch this.
You see, it's now a matter of public record that our leadership has been engaged with President Zuma as well as the MKP for a very long time, a long time ago. My count is that over the last 3 to 4 years. It is that tactic of entanglement which, in my view, was responsible for the heavy losses, as it were, that we saw the EFF sustain in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, being overtaken in Mpumalanga, as well as in the National Assembly. Tactics of entanglement. We had already been entangled by the leadership itself. And this entanglement, in my view, which I think it was a miscalculated tactic of entanglement, should be understood for what is responsible for what rocked us, in relation to the departure of the then Deputy President and ultimately Butali. But it's a matter of public record whether they tried to seek his endorsement, cooperation during the elections. You would recall the leadership had on many occasions said, we are one with the MKP and all of that. I think it's really that. I would hope that it had nothing to do with this or that position in the organization, but seemingly the distrust that was invited, in my view, by the departure of the Deputy President, which I think it shouldn't have, because if you accept that you had already entangled us with the MKP, such an occurrence shouldn't have to rock us.
There is no one and no organization, historically and even now, that exists beyond the borders of South Africa. It is only the EFF. So how do you say you can unite people when you are 82 years old, having failed to unite them for the past 82 years? You think you can do it now? The unity we are talking about is not a lip service. It's not something used to mobilize people for the sake of positions. Why would you want to close the EFF for a starter shop with expired fruits? We cannot allow a situation where this movement, with such a huge infrastructure, with an office owned by this organization, we are not going to send the future generation for the dreams of an 82-year-old man who is corrupt to the core, who has gone to anything for the opposition. Always, we are going to fight corruption during Zuma, even after Zuma. Zuma is corrupt. We will not be sled about the corruption of Zuma.
Which could have assisted you that once you entangle us, you say we're one with the MKP, that there are things that are no longer possible. You couldn't say that they are enemies. You couldn't say that Floyd Shivambu is an enemy or is betrayed us, because he did not cross the picket line. He didn't join Botha or de Klerk. It's like if somebody left the ANC and joined the PAC. You couldn't cultivate a politics of anonymity. These are the political differences that I think could have been constructively dealt with a full acknowledgement of the consequences of miscalculated tactics of entanglement. So it would be a pure miscalculation and a denial, as it were, to acknowledge the consequences of forming an entanglement with people, of forming an entanglement with a collective. And I think that, in a sense, that's why it has to be read as, an entire collective leadership, the decisions of that collective leadership, which entangled us in the way that it did. And that is the plateau in which those disagreements played out. And to wake up in the morning after all of that and say that I'm the one that is a double agent, it is of biblical absurdity. The suspension was put in a very formal way. And since that suspension, any other interaction that may have been there has mostly been me trying to, to reconstruct whatever that might have been. But as I said, these are political disagreements. They happen. And I've had to make peace with the fact that these political disagreements have occurred, and I've got to move on.
In his interview, Ndlozi comes and said that he was at home for all these times. But if he was at home, why didn't he choose to keep quiet when the EFF, which is his own political party, it has been under attack? Well, Ndlozi have to come and explain the reasons that made him to be at home and not get to engage in whatsoever that has been taking place within the EFF.
I've been around. And I've been in the country, at home.
Here we are today. Where have you been?
Well, I couldn't attend the conference of the EFF, the NPA, because over a dispute over my suspension. I was suspended about 6 weeks before the conference. And the suspension was unconventional in that it didn't rely on the code of conduct of the EFF summoned by its constitution. But largely the suspension rested on 2 counts.
Yeah.
On the one hand, the leadership said that it's in possession of an intelligence report in which they claim that I'm part of the infiltration strategy by the MKP. I'm working with the MKP. I'm planning to go to join them. I'm waiting for some opportune moment. The second one largely rested on the fact that I knew about the then Deputy President Floyd Shivambu's departure, and I didn't tell the leadership. Of course, I was told to stay at home, cease my participation in Parliament and the rest of the activities of the EFF.
All right. Now here comes the very first secret from all this, the relationship between Dr. Ndlozi and the EFF of Julius Malemma. According to Ndlozi, is saying that he was being suspended. Why? If he was being suspended by the EFF, why the EFF leadership did not tell people of South Africa when there were so many questions which was being raised out there concerning the man called Ndlozi? Why did you not tell everyone that right now Ndlozi is being suspended from his political activities within the EFF until further notice? Instead, every time when this question was asked to the leadership of the EFF, this is what they had to say.
We're not going to answer the question about Ndlozi. You've got his number, and some of you talk to him, call him. Not responsible for Ndlozi. 90% of the people who were here, who expected to be here, are here. That's what matters. Whoever is not here was not supposed to be here from the beginning. So you are not going to reduce this organization to some individual. We're going to refuse that. We're going to refuse that. We gave a very long political report yesterday, like 80 pages. It didn't have such names. You are intellectually so inferior that you can't even engage with that documents, and then you bring gossip. We must be monitoring movements of individuals. Why concern about one person over so many people who are here? As if he is the conference. As if he's not here, conference will not happen. It's going to happen, it's happening without him. He's not here. Yet people say he's here, he's doing this. He's not here. It's not here. It's not our interest to entertain such nonsense. It's not our interest. We're dealing with political issues, not egoism, not people who think they are bigger than this organization. It will show them once again bigger than all of them. So we as a matter of principle and policy position, we're no longer going to answer any nonsense about business. When a journalist asks you that question, you must say, ask another question. You can be smarter than that. Ask something else. This matter is closed. You can talk about it amongst yourselves, but don't bring it to us. We are refusing that. Don't do that. Don't reduce the whole ideological political report to Sunday world gossip, because that's what they thrive on. And we know what is the relationship of Sunday world, its owners and Ndlozi. We don't want to talk about it. Don't push us. Don't push us. We know Ndlozi friendship with the owner of Sunday world, and by that extension, we know his relationship with Sunday world, which we can easily describe without any fear. No one can do anything about it.
Yes, I totally agree. It is true that whatever have happened in the EFF in the past 6 months or so, it is what we call political betrayal, or shall I say, political military coup. But don't you think that people of South Africa, or those who believe in the EFF, they deserve to have that kind of a better understanding of the whole situation, especially when it comes to the suspending of Dr. Ndlozi, because whether we like it or not, he used to be one of the big figure in the EFF. So when this kind of matter is taking place, now that the media, they have to ask this kind of question, I don't see personally any reason why they should hide it if that is what had happened. That's because of the lack of communication when it comes to the suspension of Dr. Ndlozi. Here comes now the man in the media revealing this kind of secret, which most of people did not know, even though there were some rumors here and then. Because what we were all being told about his silence, it is not what is happening here. We were all being told that he's still a member of the EFF, which is true after all. But with all the allegations which was pointing finger at him, the least the leadership of the EFF they would have done was to try to communicate with everyone that the man is being suspended for now until further notice. But failing to do so, this has becoming something else, because it had given up Dr. Ndlozi some wings in order for him to come and start flying even more higher, because now people out there, they are busy criticizing the leadership of the EFF of keeping this secret, and now they feel like no, Dr. Ndlozi is a man who's being crucified over what the former deputy president of the EFF, Floyd Shivambu, have done, and different cadres of the EFF. Now, another things which we took note from his message, I'm referring to Dr. Ndlozi, is for the fact that he came and criticized this decision of decision which was taken by the leadership of the EFF for them suspending him from his political activities. And you heard himself saying that he had to sit at home because he was supposed to be waiting for the answer or for the final decisions which the leadership had taken, and they had promised to get back to him. But he felt like he was running out of patience because they did not come back on the due time which they had promised him.
And so it was very important for me, because they said that The investigation is still ongoing, and when the investigation is finished, I then would be given an opportunity to respond to these allegations. I think we can all agree these are dangerous and very serious allegations. At a later stage, the leadership argued that the report would only be ready after conference, and the matter has been referred to the leadership after the conference. It seemed fair for me to wait to clear my name in relation to these allegations so that I don't function with a cloud, a dark cloud on my head or a gun on my face. As I said, we can all agree these are very serious allegations that one had betrayed the revolution, had been disloyal, and that indeed you are a double agent of some sort. Whatever information they say they have was based largely on lies.
I believe you might be wondering and asking yourself a question to know that if that is the case, why he did not just sit and wait? Well, I think it's more easy for us to say that, but if we have to put ourselves in his issue, regardless of whatsoever we are accusing him, I think we will have also react in the same or similar ways. Why? Because you are being stopped from all your political activities, and then you are being keep waiting, while on the other side there is a lot of storms or a lot of things which are being said about you. So I think that's one of the things maybe end up motivating him also to just let go of everything just like that. Now, here's the most surprise point that we have took from his interview. As we had said it before, that it was going to be very complicating for his future without him being in the EFF. Some had suggested that no, he should go ahead and join the MK political party, which he rejected and said that he will never going to do such a thing. Some, they say that no, he should just go and join the ANC, because in the ANC there's not those big cadres who can have that kind of influence as the one for Dr. Ndlozi, which again he rejected, even though the journalist had to remind him of his previous Twitter that he had to salute or acknowledge the efforts of President Cyril Ramaphosa toward the president of the US, Donald Trump. But still again, he gave his own explanations and saying that no, it has nothing of him joining the ANC. So, if you notice very well, this man is no longer in the EFF because he retired more officially, and the EFF, they have confirmed that. He did not want to join the MK political party, neither the ANC.
Of course, I can state categorically now that I never planned to join the MKP. I still don't. I never worked with anybody in the MKP in relation to some conspiracy about my departure. And I think that whatever information they say they have was based largely on lies.
So these three political parties, obviously, they were the only three political parties that they could have found themselves in, because we can't count the DA, because we all know that it was not going to be a choice for him to take. Now, what did him say that we can take from now on concerning his future? Well, the man was very clear. From now on, Ndlozi is no longer going to join political parties. It's going to continue with other activities, and he mentioned to continue with his activities among different academics. So obviously there's a lot that he believes he still have to offer. And at the same time, we had to ask a question to know through these academies, what's he going also to benefit from all this? Because we all know that politicians, it is all about power and money. So is that something that is promising for his future? We shall wait and see what surprise he have for us. But yeah, the point here is that he refuses to join political parties. And I strongly believe him taking this kind of decision It was him trying to send a message to the EFF that you guys, you are accusing me of 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I just want you guys to know that I had nothing to do with that, and proof to it, I'm not going to join whether it is the MK party or the ANC. I'm going to do other activities which has nothing to do with politics. So, in other words, the EFF, they have made Ndlozi to retire from politics activities. Just a saying. So Ndlozi is no longer into politics. He's now kind of like getting more activated in other sectors.
So I just want to get you right. I don't want to second guess you. You're saying you're leaving party politics.
I'm leaving party politics.
And my question is very direct. Are you still a member of the EFF?
I have left the EFF. I have left party politics. EFF is a political party. I have handed over my resignation as a member. And it is because where I want to go and contribute, I can't hold a single party membership. But overall, I think that I've made my contribution. And I think that there are brilliant young men and women, old men and women as well, in the space that will continue in that category, as it were, of party politics. I think I'll contribute elsewhere in the remaining decades of my life.
Now, guys, I want us to discuss a little bit about all the allegations which we heard so far from the EFF side. Is the EFF right? Yes or no? Because here we are seeing a man who's coming, referring to Ndlozi, saying that no, he was being suspended. Now, I just want to have an answer to this question, whereby I'm trying to understand, in the EFF, if you are being suspended, are you not allowed to give an opinion or to comment on a certain matters that concerns you, or your name is being put online? That is a question which I'm leaving to the EFF members who have been suspended or who have been through a certain kind of a disciplinary. If they can tell us, in the EFF, once they discipline you, are you not allowed to talk, to express yourself, even through a message via Twitter? Are you allowed just to keep quiet? Because if that is the case, then which means what I'm about to tell you, it is 100% true. Because if Mbuyiseni, he was suspended from the EFF, but at the same time being forbidden from not commenting or from not saying anything about what the EFF they've been going through lately, then which means somehow, someway, it does not deserve to be blamed. Because we all saw how the president of EFF, Julius Malemma, addressed these matters concerning Dr. Ndlozi, acknowledging that no, the man is still a member of the EFF, but he chose to keep quiet, is not reacting, and blah, blah, blah. If he chooses to do so, let him be. We can't force him. So this is how it was all shown out there that no, since he knew what was going on, so he does not want to take side. He rather prefer to remain neutral and not either to defend Friendship Rambo with those who left with him or the EFF with those who remain inside it. So let's just hope that the EFF, they never ask him to keep his mouth shut when his name was being put online. But as we go further, on the side of Ndlozi, if him was called to keep quiet about these matters, was that also applied to his wife? Because according to what also we heard so far, is that no, before even Fresh Vambu get to announce his departure from the EFF, well, there was a Twitter which his partner, Dr. Ndlozi's partner had to like and react. So at least even through his wife, since she's someone who seemed to be commenting or reacting on whatever it has been happening in the political party of her husband, I think she should have at least even come also forward and said that, no, guys, my husband has nothing to do with this. When I was reacting this, it was with this intention and that intention. But she chose to keep quiet. And remember, I said in one of the video when we were talking about all this, I said that keeping silent when your own political party, which you have fought for all these years, it is under attack, it is not going to do good to Ndlozi. Because there are people out there who believe in Ndlozi. There are people who see him as a leader. And when this kind of matters have to come, or when this kind of things have to take place, the least we can do is for you to come forward and speak out. We saw Julius Malemma did it. He comforted his fighters. He showed them that I'm here. There's nothing, or let's say just whatever happened, it's just kind of the challenge that the EFF need to go through in order for it to be even more stronger. He assured these people about how things should look like. And we had all salute him for that, because he proved again that he's a leader. A leader, you don't put your hands down or fold your arms, or when you are being attacked, when there are some people who want you dead out there. You rather defend yourself and come and assure to everyone that no, you actually there, and everything will be fine. So when the side of Ndlozi, that's not something that he did. He rather preferred to keep quiet, and this end up also giving Julius Malemma with the EFF a right to start seeing him in the different ways, and they start treating him in these other weird ways because they could not see him like one of them. Remember, when Floyd Shivambu left the EFF, I had said that anyone who's behind this, they are going to pay a very high price, because there is no leader, especially in the African continent, when you are being attacked, when they try to make a military coup and they fail. Once you survive those such kind of leaders, they usually do something to punish those who had something to do with this. And I had said again that the moment when Julius Malemma announced whatever he announced at Nasarek concerning Ndlozi, it was a very clear message. When Julius Malemma, for example, is saying that no, those who are supposed to be here, they are here already. Whoever is not here, then which means to is supposed not to be here.
Whoever is not here was not supposed to be here from the beginning. So you are not going to reduce this organization to some individual. We're going to refuse that.
Well, that's a very big statement or strong message from all this. That was a way of telling people that, no, look, I don't want this guy to be next to me because I'm seeing him now in the past. That was a very simple message. And we have tried to elaborate more about it to you guys. So the biggest mistake which Ndlozi made from all this was from the moment when he chooses to keep quiet and not saying anything. As I ask this question, whereby I want to know if it is how the policy of the EFF had been lined, that if someone is being suspended from all activities, this person, they are not allowed to comment, they are not allowed to talk to anyone. If that is the case, then which means I don't see also the need why the name of Ndlozi to be mentioned in a bad way, if like he's a man who was the mastermind behind all this, and then he acted more innocent. So I think maybe what they would have done, I'm referring to the leadership of the EFF, they'll have maybe come for an example and say that, no, look, we are here, we suspended you, but yeah, you are free to speak if you are being asked a question or anything like that. But that's not the case. Apparently they went on, they even forget about him, And Ndlozi will have to start now stressing over that because he knew that they had promised him that they will get back to him. So when everything happens and no one is coming up with a solution, obviously there might be other proposal, or he had to come up with other ideas which will help him out in order for him to live his life differently than from the politics. But now here's also one more point that I want to touch. Guys, Ndlozi is coming and acknowledging that he was indeed aware that Floyd Shivambu was going to leave.
Secondly, I did know about the departure of Floyd Shivambu. He did come to tell me of his consideration. And indeed, I did tell him that, look, you would have to take the leadership into confidence. And he did. The idea that I should have ran behind his back and informed other people or the leadership suggests that I'm an informant, a gossiper, or a wedge driver. I am none of those. It was Floyd's decision. He had to communicate it. It was not my decision. It was his. He had to communicate it, and he did.
Oh, yes. Ndlozi was aware that Floyd Shivambu was going to leave, and according to him, he did not see any reason why he should go and tell everyone. And I think that is where Julius Malemma was pissed off. Because, guys, we're talking about someone who's about to betray everyone, including even you. And this person comes to you and confide in you. And then you had this big secret, but you choose not to say anything about it. Now that you're being given an opportunity for you to express yourself about it, you are even coming forward to confirm it. Forgetting that this is one of the things which has raised a lot of allegations against you. But it's coming forward to confirm that, yes, Floyd Shivambu had told me 1, 2, 3, 4, and I asked him of 1, 2, 3, 4 to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and he did so. Yes, he might have done that, but in which conditions? Was this act being appreciated by the EFF leadership? These are other kind of questions which I think Dr. Ndlozi will have at least had considered it, instead of him just coming and confirming it again. Because when you are confirming it, you are confirming also to what Julius Malemma have said, that this is a pure betrayal of the revolution. I don't know how much they trust each other, Ndlozi and the Floyd Shivambu, in order for them to keep such kind of secret to one another. Because if maybe Ndlozi had that courage to reveal this secret before time, maybe by now the EFF, they will have been able to convince Floyd Shivambu in order for him to remain the EFF. But he chose to keep quiet. So that is something which also make the EFF leadership get angry or be very mad toward Ndlozi. So let us wait and see what will happen again, guys, because this is such kind of a complicated situation. But let's hope that maybe Ndlozi will also reconsider his move, same as the EFF, if they can reconsider also their words and see if they can rewind it a little bit in order for them to keep such an element as Ndlozi. Guys, I think that will be all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Give us your thoughts in the comment section. Tell us also what you think about this. Do you think Ndlozi was right, or was it the EFF was right? Because this divorce that we get to see between the two individuals, it kind of like hiding a very big secret. So feel free to tell us also what is in your mind. I believe that will be all for now. Continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.
Ndlozi.